Okay. Good afternoon to all our followers on Twitch TV on Jessica's Quizzical channel. This is game 5 from the Winter Matchplay at Milton Keynes, and it is between Lewis Mackay and Phil Robertshaw, two of the top 3 seeds, along with Austin Shin. I'm Colin Northmore from the northeast of England, and I'm playing a tournament at Middlesbrough tomorrow, so you'll get a fresh commentator or commentators tomorrow. Lewis seems to have picked his rack, and he's got an opening rack of GOV coat. So that's a government coat, GOV coat. There's limited opportunities there. VOG is a new word in the last dictionary. We've got lots more words to come in. I've missed the top move on this octavo, using all the letters but one, and Lewis has seen it and played it. No doubt a musical terminology. Rick, I believe he's got K rule. No, I'm making it up. Phil has got AEERLU blank. And there will be something here. I'm just trying to get it. There's 3 7-letter words available with Phil's rack, including Aurelia, which is a jellyfish, and Aureola and Raduli, but the highest potential points would be a double-double through the A of octavo, but that's unlikely because Phil's already 2 A's, so that would have to be a play with 3 A's. So the next highest scoring spot would probably be through the V of octavo. Phil spotted the only bonus for the V, which is a very nice play of Velatura, which is top 6,000 probability 8, meaning it's Italian for a method of glazing a painting by rubbing with a hand. So Phil goes into a 72-30 lead with an A between the triple letters, and Lewis with a rack of GEFIISY. The highest possible points would be through the R of Velatura, with either the F or the Y on the triple letter score with a double word, if there is such a word available. I know there's GYRI, but I'm doubting whether it takes an S. I could be wrong, but that would just be the G on the premium double-double square. Potentially FEY over the A of Velatura. Yeah, right. This is the best word is, I believe it's Australian slang for fireman. It's fiery, FIRIE, which would be 32 points with a rack leave of GSY. The one that I've said FEY above the A of Velatura, Fey, is 2 points more, but it's got the direct leave of GIIS. Lewis has actually played Fig to get rid of duplicate I's and the direct leave of YISE. Phil's picked up the Q after his bonus, so he's got QM, CD, EEI. Now, is there any spots to benefit from the Q? Through the A, there's Quadi or Quaid, but that would leave one letter above the triple word score in the bottom right hand corner, and as it happens, Lewis has got a S. I believe Lewis has got isozyme next go. I'm convincing myself it's good, but it will be a very high score if it's playable and if it's good. So Phil's played QI quite quickly, and I'm going to stick my neck out and say isozyme is good, but as to whether it's playable, it is good, and it's 103 points on 14G, pluralising octavos. Pluralising octavo for octavos. The second highest play is Zori's on N10, so it's taken that hotspot I pointed out from the previous go on N10, making Figo, and for a triple letter Z and double word combination. Lewis possibly maybe trying to convince himself if octavo is a pluralizable. Lewis has played it for 103 points, which is a very, very nice score. And it is octavos is being challenged. And we know it's good from the Crackle analysis. Octavo, rather than being a sort of musical term, is a page size, which is why it can be pluralized with an S. So Lewis jumps into a 166 to 95 point lead. Phil's got a record of MAKEDEC. I'm just looking for hotspots. There's maybe make, MAKE, under the M of isozyme, making MM, which would be 6, 7, 12, 13, 39, 41, 45, 51 points, which is quite a nice return. Just to say, both these players are very top-notch players, both played in World Championships several times, and both have got multiple major domestic titles. Lewis has just won the BMSC this year, and Phil won the national title 2 years ago. Slightly higher scoring points than the one I pointed out is Mac and Mech, and Phil indeed's played Mac, keeping DEE and scoring 56 points. So just being 15 points behind at the moment. So Lewis has got Snafu, which I believe is got SNAFU with a G and a D. There's limited openings for and hotspots at the moment on this board. I don't think there's any big plays available. Yeah, right, there's a Fauna down to the A of Velatura on the right hand side on the triple from 08 downwards. That would give a direct leave of DGS. Crackle's highest mine's the third highest valuation. The highest is Defo on I11 and D-Fog to the right of Octavos, which are nice spot and a nice fit. Scoring 26 with a rack leave of NSUA, so it's clearing sort of two heavyish tiles off the rack, F and G, which are two of the least desirable tiles. So Lewis goes into a 41-point lead, and Phil has a rack of JIRD Jerd plus EES. Jared is good type of javelin, but there's limited places to play. Crackle's top play is Jet onto the T of Octavos, which Phil's put down quite quickly with a strong rack lead of Sired and picking up OA, so he's got Roadies, Seredia or Radios as 7-letter words on the next go, as well as there'll be plenty of 8s, no doubt, available. With an A, it's Air Radios, but the A of Velatura isn't in the right spot for that. So Lewis has got 15-point lead. It's his go. He's got NN AEIUS. And he's a floating C for nuisance. If it was double I rather than IU, it would be insanely and asinine. Is there anything with this rack? Something lame like uni making QI. The top two plays, I said the uni above the making QI on the top right segment. Une, which is I think it's a two-toed sloth. It's seen as a slightly better move, getting rid of an extra vowel, keeping SEN, and those has picked up SE. 2 more tiles. HR, but we're on to Phil's play. As I said, we've got 7s, Roadies, Seredia, etc., etc., and that's playable nicely on the bottom left triple, and that's gone down very quickly. So Lewis, I'm not sure if it's a word or if it's just slang. Neshers, Neshers. It may not be a word. It's just sort of a slang word, or it could be good. It is no good. And this bonus was with 5 different floaters. But they'd all have to end in an S. Arsheens, Hearness, Freshens, Reshines, and Senhors. No, none of them would be playable. They'd have to be playable through an A, E, I, F, or O. With the A being Arshin, so the A of Villachura is in the wrong spot. So Lewis is probably looking to play at least SHE and keep something like a rack leave of RENS, but that depends on how well he can score elsewhere. Potentially for points, Lewis could play either HERS or HENS to the right of UNA, and making QIS as well, which would be a pretty decent score, and keeping either SEN or SER, which are both strong, but it would limit the number of openings, and Phil has a 50-point lead. So if Lewis played that, it would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 20, 22, 34 points, taking into 16 points within Phil's score. HERN is seen as a best place in the same spot that I've said, but it would keep ESS rack leave. It's hard to see why it's strongly better. Well, it's only a point better in valuation than EHS or REHS in similar spots. It looks like this game is going to be keenly contested until the end. There's no blowout or anything. Then after this game, we've got one more game before dinner, and then 3 more games after dinner from 7:20 p.m. onwards, I believe. Lewis has played one of my 2 suggestions of HENS, keeping ERS, which isn't valued quite as highly as HERN by Quackle, but I'm not sure why Quackle is saying the ESS duplicate S-leave is so strong. Lewis seems to be picking quite nicely from his SCR, GOD and NL, so he's got such as Lodgers for his next move before Phil's move. Phil's got awkward ties. He's got duplicate T's, duplicate A's, RUE with a 13-point lead. So we've got one tile wrong. It's duplicate TRN. Right, we got the letter slightly wrong there. He's got a truant plus an E, so he seems to have put it down quite quickly until a D of Brody's for truanted. And Lewis's Lodgers will play quite quickly on the T of truanted, unless there is any better. I've got a feeling the anagram of Lodgers may be Dogrels, and it is the top 2 and only bonuses available. Lewis has played Lodgers quite quickly and is just 11 points behind. Phil has got a very strong rack of HLENOX blank. There's bound to be big plays here, not necessarily bonus plays. Is there any strong spot for the X? If there was a G instead of a H, it would be Loxygen again, which I pointed out in a previous game. Liquid oxygen. Phil will be looking for a considerable score with these tiles. I can't see any big X scores. There's only like HOX to the right of Lodgers, which isn't a big score. The UH above the Q is quite restrictive. There's the A in the triple lane with Velichora, but the position of the A makes it relatively restrictive again. Something like HO onto the A of truanted, then X hoax would clear the rack quite a bit, but I'm sure Phil would be looking to score higher than 28. I'd guess that I'm not sure actually whether Plodgers is good. Plodgers, I think it's Pledgers with those tiles. That would be on Lewis's go next rather than Phil's go immediately. Whether there's Pledgers and Plodgers, I'm not certain. Maybe just the Pledgers, or there could be both. Somebody who Plodgers is a Plodger. Craig Beavers in the World Championship tried putting a G on the front of Riddlers against me, making Riddlers, which seemed plausible, but was no good, and unfortunately I challenged it off. Yeah, the hoax, which I've said is the third best score, only marginally behind Hex through an E. It's the E of Lodgers, or Hone on D1 to the right of Lodgers. The H for Hox or Hone potentially could give quite a lot away depending on Lewis's rack on the triple. Just look, nothing goes in front of Lodgers, and as I say, it's Pledgers with Lodgers plus a P. So Phil has played Hoax, which was my suggestion, and Phil's agreed with that. So Phil's got a 39-point lead and a strong rack leave of LEN blank, I believe, and has picked up IAN. So expect to see Phil bonus the next go. But back to Lewis's rack of RRDBAPY, which is more challenging. At the worst, he's got such as pasty through the ST on the mid-left triple. But it would leave a poor BRRD rack leave. It's got such things as Buddy through the D of Lodgers, which would open the board quite a bit. BA through the D, DY, which would be 6, 7, 9, 11, 30 points. I don't think Lewis can particularly infer from Phil's play that Phil's got a very strong rack. But there are limited bonus openings, such as the A on the right-hand lane of the board, and through the LODGE of Lodgers. Maybe a good rack balance and decent score would be Berry through the E of Lodgers, BERRY, for 24 points. And indeed Perry, which I think is the name of the sort of pears for pear cider. Berry I'm more certain of. And a B is generally valued worse than a P. I can see Blady now through the L before Quackles shows what's available, with a Y on a triple letter, which is 12, 14, 15, 18, 36. The pasty, I said pastry is better because it gets rid of one of the duplicate R's. And the Blady, I've just said, is quite a nice play, but any of the plays give Lewis no more than 30% win rate. The top play is BYE on 14B. So that's just above the O of Roadies, BYE and BO and YA. One of Quackle's suggested words I'm not familiar with, D-A-R-B-A-R, Darbar. Generally, it's recommended when you're learning words that the 6-letter words aren't as important as the others, though it is helpful to have a smattering, especially of higher scoring 6-letter words. And the reason why they're not so important is because you don't leave yourself a strong rack leave, you're just leaving yourself one tile, so it's more up to the sort of tile gods as to what your rack may be. So playing fewer tiles if you haven't got a bonus gives you a much stronger rack leave potentially to bonus the next go. I see the next annotated game after this, a stream game, will be Ahmed Khan from Manchester area, who's, I believe he's only been playing in tournaments for the last maybe 2 or 3 years and got up to a quite high rating of around 160. And Ahmed will be playing Rafa Dominic from Poland/London area in the next game on stream. So it should be a good game. Rafa's got a very, very strong knowledge of words, but at times he can learn too many weird words and sometimes forget the basic ones, which we all can. So Lewis has played Blady, which was one of my suggestions, and got a 1-point deficit. Phil's had forever to look at his letters, and so no doubt will plonk a bonus down quite quickly. I haven't had a chance to fully look at his rack to see what's available. I'm sure it should come easily. I believe kneeling will be good, Nealing, just above Blady. Kneeling. In fact, there's leaning I can see before Quackles come up doing more overlaps, or ealing. So Phil's in a very strong position with an 83-point lead after playing Ealing, which I believe's a baby lamb or something, which takes a Y in front. Yeeling, I believe, as well. So Phil's got an 83-point lead. Lewis has got a pretty awful rack, RRPIVTT. maybe needs a E to play through for Privet or something to get rid of some of his rubbish and score decently. Phil's got a much stronger rack of LIBTEEW. It's not lovely, but it's sort of scoring-y, and it's got a better combinations of vowels and consonants than Lewis has got. Lewis is probably going to be cursing at tile fairy at this stage of the game and not having a sort of even chance of winning. His maximum scores he can play on no more than 24. He's played VERT, giving a front hook of E or A for avert or evert, which, excuse me, Phil's going to jump at the opportunity and take the triple lane and as many points as he can. So Phil has got a 68-point lead, 439 to 371, and this is Phil's turn with only 6 in the bag. So Phil is very likely to take the evert front hook and score probably 30 or 40 points here. I can't see immediately words using the W and the B to go down to the triple. I can see like BETEL, which would be a reasonable play, but utilising both the B and the W would be much stronger. My suggestion is B, Jew, BEDEW through the D of Lodgers. The top score is Blueit, which I'm not sure if it's a plant. Making evert, which is a very, very strong play, if Phil sees it. Apparently it may be a mushroom, Jessica's telling me. But the second best play, again, making evert, is B wet. So Phil hasn't seen Blueit or wasn't confident enough of it, but has played B wet, which is a very nice play, leaving LE and leaving one tile in the bag. So Phil has a 106-point lead. A rack of LIPOWN. It's Lewis's go with Lewis has got a very poor rack of RPITIUR, and it's going to be very difficult getting anywhere near back in the game at this late stage with such a rack. Even if Lewis decided to just play off one tile and hope to go out with a bonus next move. Well, we can work out what's in the bag. It's an E which is in the bag. hard to see a high scoring play for Lewis, even if Lewis deep down knows he's not going to win the game. He's going to try to minimise spread for sort of his final position in the tournament if he's in contention. Likewise, Phil, although he sort of deep down knows he's going to win the game, will be looking to maximise his spread. Crackle's top play is Utopia on Tilia A of Robertshaw, which is a nice play. It shows what a high standard these two players are. When Phil goes, they'll have had 10 moves each. And the sign of a good player and a good game is generally if you have 12 or less goes each moves during a game. I believe HENS takes a W front hook. I believe I played it online recently. WHENS, WHENS. Probably just something like wipe. That looks high scoring. Weep on the bottom left hand corner to take advantage of the double word score twice. Powney is the best move on 12A. 12A. That's a nice spot under Hoax, making XI amongst others, and not even needing a double word score to get just about the highest play. Weep is actually 1 point higher, but doesn't get rid of as many tiles in case Phil plays out the next move, and so Lewis's tiles, what he's got left, count against him. So that move was by Phil, and Lewis has got IRE left with a 115 point deficit. There's a few places to play out, although they're not seen as the best move. IRE above Evert is the top point score while playing out. And Lewis has played from the D of Lodgers for Dyer, D-I-R-E. So Lewis has finished the game with 407 points to Phil's 508. Some nice plays during that game. ISO Zyme by Lewis for 103, pluralising Octavo, a paper size. A Villatura was a nice spot by. But generally, Phil had a little nicer tiles, including both blanks, but that's how games go. And I'm sure both players will finish in the sort of business end of the table. So I believe the next game may be around, maybe 10 minutes time, so I'll catch you then.